Hey guys, do you ever feel like you have so many limitations and you just really want to exceed them as quick as you can? Because I always feel like that. I always feel like I have to be a step ahead of the game, and I always have to keep pushing further and further, faster and faster. Now, while that is great in theory and great in concept, it is a terrible idea to follow through at that fast and rapid of a rate. Because if you go back to anything that you've ever learned as a kid, great things take time, and that is an exactly true moral. Now, nothing that you are given that is good and worth having comes easy as well. So, when it comes to your mental, your physical, and any kind of goals you have set for yourself, you have to take into consideration that if it's something really big and really amazing, that it's going to take time to develop that goal. Now, say you're going into your fitness journey now, and you really want to have a certain aesthetic, and that is the only thing that has been in your mind for the past couple of days. I am so happy for you that you want to do that, but at the same time you have to learn to really regulate everything that you're doing. Because I see a lot of people doing these overly complex workouts when they don't even know how they work, and they're doing them because they saw a specific bodybuilder, powerlifter, or CrossFitter doing this, and they feel that they have to do that in order to look like said role model. Now, that's a great idea to piece those two things together. You're at a different point in the game from this person who's an elite athlete. And at the same time, that person that is an elite athlete probably has really good genetics. Not saying that you don't, but they have the time, they have the concentration, and they've had all of the preparation to get to the point that they are at. So you have to slow down a little bit, and you have to really think like, okay, I need to break it down into pieces. Before I can start doing all these crazy Olympic lifts, I need to understand how to even use my body in that fashion so that I can actually do them correctly without hurting myself. Because what a lot of people are tending to do is they'll go into the gym, they'll see a bunch of people doing all these heavy weights, all these crazy exercises, they'll feel very intimidated and obligated to do these crazy strenuous exercises and end up coming out injured in a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple months, depending on the situation. Now, you might see really quick results with following one of these programs, but at the same time, you have to work at your own pace, you have to work at your own level, because you're going to see these quick results, you're going to get injured, and you're going to go right back down to where you were. You don't want to have all these hiccups and mistakes along the way. That's why you learn from people that have done these things. Rather than just watching somebody do an exercise, you have to actually ask them how to do it, why they're doing it, and at what stage that you could be doing it at. Now, that goes for justifying weight. I know a lot of people, they want to throw up really big weight as quick as they can because they see these big bodybuilders and these big powerlifters pushing this heavy weight, whether it's a bench press, whether it's a squat or a deadlift. They see them doing it and they feel pressured to do that because they feel that that is the only way that they are going to get to the aesthetic or to the power that this person has. While that's a great concept, no, you have to build up to it because you two are at completely different planes and you can't be competing at the same level that they are. Not yet, at least. You have to give yourself some time, my friend. So, pretty much, people will do this in fitness all the time. But you have to take it step by step because great things do take time, and I promise you, if you take the time with it, you really focus and knuckle down for the long span of time that you're going to be spending on it, it's going to be way more worth it when you're injury-free and you're completely going through it without just going through the motions. Now, the same thing applies from fitness into the real world. I see a lot of these companies that are building up so quick, expanding, buying new properties everywhere. And then, in a matter of 5-10 years, granted that's a long time, they collapse. Because they have dug themselves so far underground that the dirt they were digging from the top started caving in, sprinkling in on them, because they never built the structures to hold it like foundationally down. So now this huge monster crushes down on them that they built for themselves. And they have to end up declaring bankruptcy and all that fun stuff, disappointing themselves and also the people that were involved in said business or said organization. So, with all that being said, I just really cannot emphasize enough on taking your time with things, planning everything that you do out, because there is nothing worse than running into things blindly. You need to always have a plan to operate by. That's not to say that the plan is going to always go as smooth and perfectly as planned, but at least you have an idea of what you need to do to attain what you want to attain. Because there are so many countless people that are like, I want to get to this weight. I want to get to $1 million in my account. I want to get to this. Then you ask, how are you going to do that? Well, I don't know. I'm just going to go to the gym. Or I don't know. I'm just going to work really hard. You can't go by that kind of standard. If you want to have something great, more than just exceptional, you want to have something extraordinary, you have to plan everything out more extraordinarily. You have to go really into depth and focus, concentrate, and really knuckle down on what you want to achieve, because otherwise you're going to fall short and it's going to hurt really bad. Whether it's a blown rotator cuff or a big, huge pile of debt. You don't want to deal with that. Nobody does. So the moral of this is just to really slow down, plan everything you do out, and try to find the reason behind everything you're doing, because you're not at the same point as somebody way further than you is. Not saying you can't get there, but it's going to take some time before you can get to that level. So, with that being said, my friends, enjoy your day and take it easy.